Hi, this is Kevin X, and this is Tech Help from Southern Motor Works. Today we're going to look at the thing I keep seeing on Facebook and all the forums a lot lately, and that is the starter circuit of your motorcycle. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes of instruction on a quick and easy way to diagnose your starter. Right here we have a simplified diagram of your starting system. It is the battery, the starter relay, the starter, and the switch. One of the nice things about electricity is it's easy to diagnose because it all works in a straight line. You push the starter button excites the starter relay or starter solenoid, and it completes the circuit to the starter, which engages the starter and makes the engine go vroom. This is a 12-volt test light. You can pick one of these up from Harbor Freight or just about any parts store. It's a very simple device. It simply uses a light bulb to make a connection. The light comes on, you've got power. The light doesn't come on, you don't have power. This is the perfect tool for doing simple diagnostics such as this, where I'm just looking to find out where my power ends. So let's go over to the motorcycle and look. As I said, this is a pretty simple tool. All I have to do is hook this end to a convenient ground. In this case, I'm going to use a bolt from the motor, and then I touch it to positive lead and I get light. No light, no contact. The first thing we're going to look at is the starter relay or starter solenoid. It's fairly easy to find. You just follow the positive cable from the battery to the starter relay right here. On a Vision and a cross country, you'll find it underneath this front plastic cover. On the steel frame bikes, you're going to find it at the battery box underneath the left side cover. To test whether we're getting power to the starter relay, we're going to pull back the red cover like that so we can see it, and just touch it with our test light. That bright light means that we do have power. We've established that we have power to the input side of the starter relay by touching it with our test light. See the bright light? So now we're going to go to the output side of the starter relay, which is the other pole, and we're going to put our test light on it and hit the starter button. Hey, look at that, we got no power. There are two reasons why we wouldn't have power on the output side of the starter relay. The first being we don't have power coming from the switch. So we're going to test the switch easily by unplugging the 2-wire connector from the starter relay, putting our test light into the yellow wire connector for the yellow wire, and hitting the starter button. See that? We have light, so we know that the starter button is working. Since we found that the switch was good, we went ahead and threw another starter solenoid in here to test our theory out that we have a bad starter solenoid. So now we're going to turn the switch on and hit the key. As you can see, we had a light come on when we hit the button, so we know we now have a good solenoid. At this point, we've checked the basics. We put our test light on the battery and we saw that we had a good bright light indicating we had 12 volts here. We then went to the starter relay on the input side, saw that we had good power there, which means that this cable is also good. We then checked this side and we found that we did not have power. So we tested the input wire, which was the yellow wire. It lit up, so we knew we had a bad starter relay. We changed out the starter relay. We now have power on the output side. So the next step is going to be to see if we have power to the starter itself. Now, it's a little bit difficult to show on this, so I'm just going to tell you what we're going to see. If I now have power here and I don't have power here, then I have a bad cable. If in fact we do have power all the way to the pole that the cable bolts to on the starter, that means that we now know we have a bad starter. So basically, as I said in the beginning, power works in a straight line. It goes from the battery to the relay, is triggered by the switch, and goes to the starter. Real easy, very simple to do. All you need is a test light. Every mechanic should have one in their toolbox. This has been Tech Help from Southern Motor Works. I'm Kevin X, and I thank you for watching.